Yep, okay, good. Right then. Okay, if we start at the front of our mats, just sit comfortably and we'll just get our breathing established and then we'll get into the session. So just remember with this gravity yoga, it's pretty intense. Well, it's very intense. So what you're aiming to work to about 90 to 95% of your maximum stretch. If you've got any injury, then back off to 80%. Okay, so you can injure yourself in classes like this. So just be really careful. If it feels too much, just back off or modify. I'm going to give you loads of modifications because I need them as well. So just be careful. Okay, so what we're going to do is breathe in through our nose for 4 and breathe out through our mouth for the count of 8. So if you just start with that, so breathe in, inhale through the nose for 4 and then exhale for the count of 8 through your mouth. And then remember, I'm not going to do it, but you can, and it really helps, is to breathe through the exhale with. So it's right from the back of the throat, and it does really help in those longer holds. So just do a couple more cycles. Inhale through the nose for 4, exhale through the mouth for 8. Okay, if you just slowly come up to standing, we'll do our moon squats to warm up. So remember, if you can't keep your feet fully flat on the floor, just pop a cushion or a yoga block under your heels and that will help quite a lot. So if you kind of go just wider than hip width to the edge of the mat, turn the feet out about 10 to 12 degrees, and then we're going to squat down into that low squat, cross your fists. Then as we reach up, you're going to inhale. So up we go, reach back, and then down and exhale. Reach up, spread the fingers, reach back, and down and exhale. Up, reach back, and down and exhale. Let the head drop, clench your fists, and up. All the way down. Last one, up. And down, exhale, and just hold at the bottom. So we want the whole of the foot in contact with the ground. That's what we're aiming for. Just take your palms facing upwards, just relax the head here. If you're struggling, pop the cushion or yoga block under your heels. Okay, let's go again. Inhale, reach up, spread the fingers, and exhale and down, drop the head. Inhale and up. Exhale and drop the head. Inhale and up. Exhale, drop the head. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Okay, last one. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Okay, palms open up to the ceiling. Drop the head, just relax a second. Turn the heating off. Surprising how quickly you get warmed up doing just a few squats. Okay, last set, let's go. Reach up. Drop the head back, extend, and relax down. And again, inhale up. Exhale and down, drop the head. Inhale and up. Exhale and down. Good. Again, inhale and up. Exhale and down. Last one, big inhale. And down, exhale. And relax. Okay, up we go to standing. We're going to do a standing side stretch. So we'll take our left arm up in the air. You're going to grab the left arm with the right hand here, just above the wrist. Both arms. You're kind of slightly pulling up on the Okay. Sides, use the left arm to pull up and over. And relax. Okay, from here we're going to go into the ragdoll, which I know some people aren't enjoying. So feet go about hip width apart. Okay, and then we're going to slowly bend our knees and take our hands to the ground here. If you've got any kind of back problems, it's really important that you really bend the knees. Now my hands are to the ground. Now your knees might be like mine and really quite bent. That's okay. From this position here, take hold of our elbows and we hold there. We're going to do 2 minutes. So if you're not happy here, another modification you can do is do the same stretch, but on the ground. But again, make sure the knees are really bent. Takes all that pressure off the lower back. So we're not aiming for straight legs. Even if you're super flexible, you need to have a bend in the knees. So hold that stretch. Breathe, inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Keep holding. So one of the 3 main principles of gravity yoga is wet noodle, they call it. So you're trying to relax into the pose. So imagine you're like a wet noodle. So you're super relaxed. So the more relaxed, the better stretch you're going to have. Use that breathing to overcome the stretch reflex. And we want to feel this in the belly of the hamstring, not in your joints. If you're feeling it in the back of the knee, bend the knees more. Okay, we've got 30 seconds left. We're nearly there. Last few seconds. And slowly coming out of that. Okay, just shake the legs off. So hopefully you felt that right in the belly of the hamstring. So with runners, we get a lot of tendinitis, high hamstring, pain in the back of the knee. We don't want to feel any joint pain with this. We're aiming for the belly of the muscle. So you just bend the legs as much as is necessary. Right, this next one's a new one called Reclining Hero. You may need a block, I do. So what we're going to do is you go into this position here, the feet are flat on the ground, okay? Knees are together, and then your ankles will go wide because you're going to sit your bum down between here. But you may experience tightness in the knees, I do. So I'm going to pop a block under my bum like that, and it makes it a lot more comfortable. Okay, so knees are together, feet are wide, okay, in that position. And we're just going to sit here for 2 minutes. For those of you that can take the stretch further, you're going to go down, maybe onto your hands here, maybe onto your forearms. I'm not going to go there because I can't. And then if you can, go all the way to the ground. You lay your hands behind your head like that, and your back's fully flat. Well, it's not flat, it will be slightly arched on the ground. So you're going to take it all the way down. But there's no glory in trying to go all the way to the ground. Just in this position up is a really good stretch. So I'm going to stay right here. You guys can take it to where you're happy taking it. Okay, we've got 2 minutes. So the other thing that you're asking is you're asking your ankle to go into plantar flexion. So where we point the toes. A lot of runners struggle with this, so this is great for plantar flexion. So when Leanne's back, I don't think she's in class tonight, then this is a really good one for you, Leanne, if you're doing it on recording. So this yoga block's probably a little bit too high for me now, so I'm just going to try a cushion. It's a little bit lower. Okay, so that's a bit more intense. So we don't want any pain in the knees here. They're just hanging out. Again, use that breathing. Okay, we've got 1 more minute. If you feel happy here, you might want to take it back onto your hands. Again, don't push it any more than you need to, and then down onto your forearms. Or you can just, if you're up on a block or a cushion, no, that's not going to happen. Okay, I'm just going to stay here. "30 more seconds. You might feel it at the front of your ankles. That's normal. You can even use 2 yoga blocks under your bum if you need to, if you're really struggling to get into that range of movement. And slowly coming out of that stretch. Okay, right then, we're going to take our mat over to a wall because we're going to do what I used to call the couch stretch, but they call a jackknife blaster. Now, there's different modifications for this. So if you struggle with this in the past, there's lots of modifications. Make sure you might need to double your mat up because you don't want to get a sore knee. So we've done it before. With this now though, they say that the knee must be right flush against the wall for every single person. So again, you're in full plantar flexion here. Now, if you can't get that leg up to there, that's fine. You can keep that knee down and you can even go into this position here. That's like position 1. And then over the weeks, you might come up to here, and then eventually you might get the knee up here and there, and then hopefully eventually to there. So if you can get that foot up, hands are straight here. Again, you can use blocks if you want to raise and modify it. If you can and you're super mobile, then you can go down onto your forearms. Okay, you could use blocks under your forearms if you can't quite get there. And we're going to hold here for 2 minutes. Okay, so get yourself comfortable. I'm going to start the clock because some of you are in the position. So your knee must be flat against that wall. That's really important. You can turn the front foot out slightly and just let that knee relax out to the side. If it causes any pain, don't do it. And use your breathing to relax. We're just going to be here in this position for 2 minutes, and then we're going to take it up for 1 minute. A lot of people struggle with this stretch. It's a really deep hip opener. Get that breathing pattern. Remember, if 4/8's too much, you can do inhale for 3, exhale for 6 is fine. Just trying to make that exhale a bit longer than the inhale. So really good stretch for the hip flexor, the iliopsoas. Got the quad as well, and maybe the front leg, you've got the hamstring going into a stretch as well. Just let the hips sink towards the ground. We've got 30 more seconds here, opening up the hips. Okay, last few seconds. Then if you can, you're going to come up and pop your hands on your knee here. Now this can get pretty intense in the front of the thigh, so really use the breathing to focus the mind and relax the muscles. If you can't get here, stay in any of the previous positions is fine. We've got 30 seconds left here. Last 10 seconds. And relax. Slowly come out of that stretch. We're going to go into child's pose against the wall. Not going to stay here for long, just to reset. Okay, and then up to the other side. If you feel a lot of pressure under the knee, pop a yoga block under there as well. That will take off some of the, just kind of a pressure point. And don't want you to feel that. Just walk the foot a little bit further than 90 degrees and you'll get a hamstring stretch here as well. Okay, we're into position, let's go. 2 minutes here. Now don't worry if you're flat on the floor and that knee's bent underneath you, it doesn't matter. That's our starting point. Over the weeks, hopefully you'll be able to come up a little bit further into the stretch. Remember that front foot's just turned slightly out, about 10-12 degrees. Let that knee just kind of flop out to the side. And we get a little bit of lateral rotation in that stretch as well. So under your butt muscle, your 3 glutes are 6 lateral rotators, which rotate the hip out. On mine, they're incredibly tight. The piriformis is one of those muscles. So don't forget, the hip has lots of muscles. It's not just one range of movement. We've got to get it from lots of different angles. So this one for me is fine. Get me the other poses and it's not fine. Just relax with that breathing. Let those hips sink towards the ground. Twenty more seconds left. So I can feel this quite a lot in my front hamstring towards the inner thigh. 10 more seconds. You might feel it in your ankle, even your calves. It's all good as long as it's not in the joint. We don't want to stretch the joint. Okay, if you can now, you're going to come up onto your knee and up. Good. We've got 1 minute here. Do your best to stay with it. Good. Thirty more seconds here. This is probably one of the most challenging hip opening poses. Last few seconds. And slowly come out of that into child's pose just to reset. And then from there, we're going to move into downward dog. I'm going to just tuck my t-shirt in. Okay, into downward dog and just pedal your feet a second. And then just hold that position now. What we're meant to do is grab with our left hand our right ankle and twist now. It might be right shin if you're like me, or you just bend your legs a little bit and twist, look underneath your armpit. And back to the middle. Okay, grab your left ankle or shin with your right hand and twist, look under your armpit. And come back, okay, drop the knees and relax. Okay. Right then, we're going to go into a passive squat. So our low squat, we're going to hold in this position here. Okay, so again, if you can't get into this low squat, stick a yoga block or a cushion under your heels, okay? And that might really help you to be able to get into that position. Feet should be flat onto the floor, okay? So if you just get into this position for me, you're just going to hold for 1 minute. Feet should be slightly turned out. just gonna have a look at everybody, if I can see you. Good. So feet should be flat on the floor. If they're not, you should have a yoga block underneath your heels. Okay, good. And chest is up if you can. Keep the back nice and lengthened. So what we're asking our body to do, we're asking our ankles to go into max dorsiflexion. So remember, we have plantar flexion, which is that, and then we have dorsiflexion, which is flexing the feet. So we have to have dorsiflexion to get into this position. So if you're struggling with this one, you're having to lift the heels up, it's fine. You just need to do a bit more work on the ankles. Right, 10 more seconds. Relax. Good stuff. Come out of that one. Right. What I'm going to get you to do as well is I'm not going to give you homework, but I'm going to encourage you to do homework. So if there's some of this stretches that you struggle with, so this one, say you're really struggling with that stretch, then use that as one of your homework. So what they say is, if you want to make really good gains in your flexibility and mobility, 15 minutes a day, ideally at night before you go to bed, will go a long way to achieving that. So what I would choose is something like a passive squat if you struggled with it, or it may be, I don't know, for me it probably butterfly. Choose 2 or 3 poses to do at night and hold them and work on them. So if you struggled in that passive squat, then choose that as one of your exercises. Right then, so this one, hamstring. We're gonna have one foot in here, one leg straight. Okay. And then we're gonna reach up nice and tall. So Chloe, anybody else that has back issues, bend that knee, okay? And then we're gonna go forwards and lean. The other thing that you can do is use a chair maybe in front of you. Chloe, so you guys just holding that stretch, you're gonna do 2 minutes each side. So bend the knee, and you could use that to keep the back lengthened, or even just stay up here and go in. You can still get that hamstring stretch, but without loading the lower back. Just keep that knee nice and bent. So a lot of lower back pain comes from tight hamstrings and tight hips. That's why we work a lot on the hips and the hamstrings. Okay, just pop the palms up so they're up to the ceiling, and just relax. Focus on that breathing. The other thing I like to do is have a couple of yoga blocks here to rest my hands on, and that just keeps my spine a little bit longer. You can round the back, it's absolutely fine. One of our movements is to flex the spine, but if you get in any kind of discomfort in the back, then having the yoga blocks does help. So inhale for 4, exhale for 8. Yeah, relax. Okay, change sides. One leg straight, a little bit bent. Okay, relax that foot. So big reach up. And then relax. Palms of hands up. Bend that knee. Don't want any pain in the back of that joint. Okay, then use yoga blocks if you want to, so that you can relax more into that stretch. Drop the head and relax. Just remember that we want that stretch we felt in the belly of the muscle. It can be quite an intense stretch, but not in the back of the knee. Play around as well with things. There's no kind of set rules to modifying it. You can play around with things to get comfortable. We've got 30 more seconds here. Just remember how much we use our hip flexors, our hamstrings when we run. Every time we flex that knee, every time we extend the hip, over and over and over again. They get shorter and they get tighter. 10 more seconds. Yeah, relax, coming out of that. Okay. Oh, let's do some tabletops to reset. So feet are on the ground, fingers are facing in towards the bum, and then from here you're going to push up, push the hips to the ceiling, drop the head back and come back down. So we're extending the spine, the opposite of what we've just done. Again, push the hips up, drop the head back and down. Quite an intense stretch on the shoulders as well. Okay, let's go. And back down. I'm going to do 2 more. Push the hips up, back, and down. 1 more. And down. If you struggle to do that, because I know some people struggle with their wrists, just go into child's pose to reset. That's fine. Okay. All right then. So what I want you to do now is lie back. Drop the head. Drop the head. I mean, take the head sideways to the left. And then to the right. Get back to the middle. Get chin in line with the ground. And just relax. You can close your eyes if you want to. And just return your breathing back to normal. Let your whole body go really heavy into the ground. Just relax into the ground. Okay, stretch your hands up towards the ceiling. Straight up, push up. And bend the knees in towards the chest. Then either, if you can roll up from there, just roll up. Otherwise, drop your knees to the right and then just gently push yourself up. Okay, sit however you're comfortable. I'm going to take the breathing back to normal. So you're going to breathe in and out through the mouth, the nose. You're going to breathe in for 4 through the nose and out for 4 through the nose. Okay, so in and exhale. Two more rounds. Yeah, relax, we're done. So I'm going to set you a challenge. Tell me in the notes, in the link for today, whether you found any of those stretches particularly hard. Each session, hopefully they'll get easier and easier. And if you practice them for homework, they'll definitely get easier. So the challenge that I'm going to set you is to do the homework 15 minutes a day, even Saturday and Sunday, at night preferably, but it doesn't really matter when you do it. And if you do it, the homework, just hit in the class link for today, done for the week. So every day you do it, just say done and send it. And we'll go on this journey together. So we're kind of starting all at the same point, those of you doing it today. And I want to see where we are 3 months and 6 months down the line and see if we've made any big changes. So if you do the homework, just write done, send it in the link for today's class. And then hopefully I'll see you on Monday. Pick maybe either 2 or 3 of the most challenging poses, or 1 challenging one, and then 1 easy one that you enjoy. If you're doing a stretch on each side, it's an asymmetrical. You count one side as 1 and the other side as 2. Okay, so 2 to 3 poses at night. All right, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all soon. Have a good night, everybody. See you later.